We're starting off with a bang on this one. Welcome back to the Concussion Protocol Podcast. Hot takes and hot hoops edition. March Madness tournament. Let's go. I hope I didn't just get a copyright infringement by even using that term, but it's time for basketball in a certain month of the year. Maybe we'll edit that part out depending on if we get any strikes. But either way, this is a college football podcast. However, we reserve the right to talk about whatever we want because it's America. It's our First Amendment right to speak on whatever subjects that we please. And today we're talking about basketball. Full disclosure, there's a reason why this is a college football podcast and not a college basketball podcast. I dare say some of us on this show could probably talk a decent amount about the NBA, maybe even a solid amount of NBA. I am not one of them in either category. This is possibly going to be the silliest episode we've ever done. We're talking max vibes, peak aura, whatever third thing the millennials are talking about these days. It's going to be mad. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to get into some serious analysis. This has been a very interesting college basketball season, and sports are always cool. Like no matter what it is, genuinely. And we talk a lot of smack about a lot of different things, but ultimately we love competition. We love when it brings out the best in people. We love the drama behind it. We love being able to hear people's stories, overcoming adversity, and being able to cheer on our teams. Some of us have some pretty significant skin in the game in this tournament. Some of us just got our coach fired after 11 years, and I was like, oh, he's still there? I'm really surprised that I feel like the administration at Arizona State just forgot he was still coaching there because that's how little that school cares about basketball.
This guy still had to bring up ASU for some reation.
I know. That's it. That's all there is to talk about.
Like they needed to be mentioned, Connor.
Because of my crippling lack of knowledge about the game of basketball, particularly college basketball, I'm just doing this intro and I might pop in here and there. Trivia is going to be a blast. I did make a bracket and we'll be posting our results of our host group that we've made from our tournament challenge apps. So we'll be following along for that as the tournament progresses. Last year, Chance had a tournament for the books. I'm not joking. Was it 9.5th percentile or something crazy?
Something like that. Yeah.
It was literally a top 10,000 bracket or just something, once in a lifetime that you get. He not only picked the Final Four, he picked the top two, and he picked the champion, and he got the tiebreaker. He picked the score, the total sum score of the final of the championship game.
Was I not accurate on all that? That is true. Hey, how about you guys hot take me on that? I welcome it.
Hot take you.
That being said, he's been playing for 20 years, and that was the first time that he made it into the top 50%.
What? No. Okay, so last year I did really well. To be honest, when it comes to brackets, there's a huge portion of luck. Some of it is knowing what you're doing, and then, there's a buzzer beater, and all of a sudden the team you wanted to win blows your whole bracket. That happens sometimes. So the year before I did bad. The year before that, actually, I had a really good bracket as well. So you win some, you lose some. But yes, last year was the bracket of all brackets for me. Probably won't happen again this year, but I did get, by the way, Connor, you're not going to get that percentile if you don't get the Final Four and the championship right, because the way it scales, you miss more points the further along you go. So if you don't get the championship game, you're toast, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. You did pick the Final Four. And your Final Four was solid all the way to the end, right?
Oh yeah, Connor.
Yes,
Connor.
But if you miss one in the Final Four or the championship game, you lose more points.
Connor,
than if you lose in the first round.
Connor, who won the championship last year?
It was not UConn.
No, it was not good.
It was also not Gonzaga.
No.
Was it? No, it wasn't UNC last year. That was 2 years ago.
He's not going to get it.
I forget.
On this trajectory, he's not going to get it.
So it was 2 years ago that was the insane tournament that nobody got anything. It was 2 5 seeds, a 7 seed, and a 4 seed or something like that.
That was 2023.
I'm saying last year. I don't remember, man. It wasn't Houston. I think I picked Houston.
That would have been a good guess.
They were close.
Was it another Texas team?
No, you're not going to get it.
I'm
It was
not gonna
The
Florida.
get
team
it.
that beat Texas this year.
That's right. It was Florida.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I'm never gonna pick an SEC team to win it all.
Just out of spite.
Just out of spite. I don't care what sport it is. It could be water polo. I'm not picking them.
I don't think you're picking anything in water polo. I'll be honest.
That's our next episode. I promise you, I probably know the same amount about the history of collegiate water polo as I do about collegiate men's basketball.
Oh, boy.
Oh man.
It's a rough estimate. So, Chance, as always, you're going to be our grounding force today. You had some actually interesting substantive conversation topics that I was actually intrigued to talk about, but I really want to hear your perspective on like why you were bringing these things up, how it relates to the larger college sports landscape. So, let us know what's on your mind before we get into the whole rest of it.
Well, so we will, we're a college football podcast. We'll bring some of it back and include a little bit of CFP as well, or college football. But college basketball, guys, is actually growing. And it's odd because the NBA is kind of in decline. And everybody seems to know why. I don't know if that's 100% true or not. But college basketball this season was the most watched season in the history of its sport. And I wanted to ask you guys, since you guys know, since you watch a bunch of college basketball, why do you think that's changed? Is it just college in general? College sports is going why would the NBA be going one direction and college basketball go the other? Any ideas? Or should I just tell you what I think?
Chase, you go first.
All
I
right.
can make thoughts, but
I know. You are the king of vibes.
I know you can,
You're
Connor.
the king of vibes.
you want me to
and
make an
making up-
argument out of thin air, go for
Making
it.
up shit. You are the Jeff Winger of this podcast.
That's a good reference, man.
There you go. All right. What do I think is hurting the NBA and what do I think is helping college basketball?
I'll tell
I
you
don't know.
this, it's not the same problem as women's basketball because the same is kind of
Marketing.
true with women's basketball a little bit, although women's basketball is getting a little bit of help.
Well, I'll always say that college basketball definitely has better marketing. For me personally, I mean, I don't watch much college basketball, but I don't watch NBA basketball in the regular season. It bores me. There's a lot of, just not a lot of effort in every game. Obviously, there's a lot of people resting their players, like load management, which they've cracked down a little bit on some of that stuff. There's certain
Dude, don't get me
rules on it.
started
There's
on
certain rules on it,
antics.
but like still, there's ways around it, and I get it. It's a long season, and I don't. It sucks for the product because obviously there's a lot of fans that go to these games and they spend money to go see their favorite player, and then their favorite player is Kawhi Leonard, and he sits out half the year. So like it sucks for the fan in the regular season. So I'll be honest, I'm not into the regular season like I am in the playoffs. Like the playoffs, I always feel like I'm not watching that much basketball, but then April hits and I am watching a shit ton of basketball. And I have the last I've watched the playoffs actually probably the last 10 years, especially in 2020 and 2021. The bubble was amazing, and then obviously the Suns were in it the next year. So, but yeah.
So my favorite NBA team got fined $500,000 because they sat out their two best players, or two of their best players at least, for the fourth quarter in a game. The NBA fined them because they thought, hey, you're losing on purpose because you're not playing those players. They ended up winning that game that they fined them $500,000 for. So that was great. And since then, a bunch of teams have rested their players in the fourth quarter with no repercussion. There are like probably 10 teams that desperately want to lose right now and are doing everything they can to make that happen. Whether it be, man, this guy, he got an owie on his finger, he can't play this time. Or sitting them out fourth quarters, or just putting bums in, doing weird contract stuff.
The lottery doesn't really reward them that much like it would in the NFL where you get the best pick.
Well, I mean, first off, you want to be in the lottery.
Yeah.
You want to have a shot because you look at
chance. Yeah. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you look at it the last couple of years, it's been outside the top 4 they got the first pick, first off. But you get the best odds. And then if you're in the top 4, then if one person jumps you, you still go to the second pick. And then the third and the fourth, unless 3 people jump you, like the Jazz got jumped so many times. Anyway, this particular draft is really, really strong. And so there's a bunch of teams trying to tank. And so they're having a big discussion on how to kill that. So they're going to go into next year and talk in the offseason about that to try to combat it. So that is probably one of the issues with the NBA right now. And vice versa, one of the strengths of college basketball is there's never been so much talent. Also, NIL has, just like football, has changed a lot in college basketball. If you think about football, it's kind of an American sport, one-dimensional. NBA or basketball is all over. And what's happening is a bunch of Europeans could be making, barely any money in Europe, or they could come to college and get paid money to go to college and play basketball, which is what's happening. So the field, in my opinion, has never been better. I've been watching college basketball for a while. And to be honest, it was a night and day difference watching college basketball and NBA. Even when they weren't trying that hard in the NBA, night and day difference, the talent. Now, the gap is closing, and it's closing pretty quickly. I mean, no college basketball team is going to beat an NBA team, obviously, but it no longer, looks way different. It is blurring, and it's even coming down to coaches that are getting paid more. You're getting better coaches, etc. So the game is developing quite quickly for college, and it's making it quite entertaining, in my opinion. So that goes into the tournament. I think it's going to be a really exciting tournament. Sorry, battery's dying. I'm excited for it. So with that being said, I compiled a list of things for us in advice for picking. You guys didn't make your picks yet, did you?
Of course we did.
Yeah.
Brackets?
Can you change them?
You can still give your advice. Because so many people have developed the perfect algorithm.
Connor doesn't listen to advice. He goes off of vibes. So it's not going to change
Yeah, we're
his
good.
mind.
We're good. We have our own little tournament or group going on for us. So I'll give everybody some advice for the tournament. From what I found, of course, don't take this as gambling advice or anything. They'll come back at us because it'll probably all be proven wrong. It's named March Madness for a reason.
Chance is saying that these are sure things. He's got inside knowledge. He's got an algorithm, folks.
Connor, let's have them sue us for when this goes to crap. Let's do it. By the way, we should probably do that on your gambling segments.
To be fair, Connor has led probably the whole second half of the season. He led with, my picks were not good this week, but let's keep it going. And I'm like, Connor, I don't know if you should.
We're gonna.
I was like, Connor, I don't know if you should tell everyone that your picks sucked last week and then say, but here's some good ones. Trust me.
You only have to be right 1 in 5 times to be profitable.
You know what? Honestly, I think a company like Underdog really should sponsor us, because if they went in and they're like, these guys are giving terrible advice, we're going to make bank off of who listens to these guys.
Yeah, 2 times until nobody trusts us anymore. Well, I'd say us, but I mean Connor, because he's the one doing the segment.
All
you guys aren't stopping me, though.
Some advice for picking. I made a couple bullet points. 1, we talked about this. Points increase each round. So make sure that you do the most research on the Final Four and the championship game. Do not get those wrong. If you get some wrong in the first round, it stings, but it's fine. Do not get the ones deep in the tournament wrong. 2, opening round. Don't just look at double-digit seeds that you like. Vice versa, do not just look at the single-digit seeds that you like. Look at both, study them out, pick both ways. 3, in the Atlantic 10 we trust, except for the past 6 years. They've only won 3 games. But in general, in the Atlantic 10 we trust. Connor, name an Atlantic 10.
I couldn't do that. Rhode Island?
I think Rhode Island is one.
Let's go!
I'm pretty sure Rhode Island is one. I got to double check. Hold on.
No, Richmond is Big East, isn't it?
Richmond is an Atlantic 10, yes.
Are they?
Dang. And Rhode Island is another. That's a good job.
UMB's...
Do you know how many Atlantic 10 teams are in the tournament this year?
0?
Well, they get an automatic qualifier, so they have to have one.
Their records are not
It's
great.
often one of the Rhode Island. Is Providence has been in many times. I don't think they're in this
Providence
year.
is Big East, my friend.
So close.
There
But
are
they're-
2 Atlantic
Dude.
10 teams this year.
I don't know. Let me pull up the bracket and see if I can identify them.
I don't even know if
guess
you
you
looked
get-
at the bracket, you'd be able to identify them.
It's not Furman.
No.
Oh, VCU,
VCU is one.
Long
They're
Island.
Terrible this year.
Nope.
Not Long Island.
No, not Long Island.
UMBC.
I don't think he's
No.
gonna guess the second one, man.
I don't think so either.
That's a interesting. Yeah.
Who's the other one?
St. Louis.
St. Louis is a.
And they played
I hate
Georgia in the
conferences.
first round.
Yeah.
All
I'll give you
right.
3 guesses as to my. I'm crazy and I don't particularly care for the SEC, but I'm not crazy enough to pick St. Louis. Wait, actually, what did I do? Did I?
It's
I
an
lock that in?
8-9, Connor. That's not crazy.
No, I picked Georgia.
Okay.
I did 2 brackets. One of them I picked Georgia. One I did not.
That's all right. All right.
Chase, do you
Point number
still have LSU winning this, even though they're not even in?
Yeah. Maybe the women's bracket I have them winning, but not this one.
That would not be a bad pick.
They're a 2
I
seed.
probably know more history about women's college basketball just for the memes.
Just because
for
of,
the
you
just
memes.
might
because
do
of
well
the
on trivia then,
podcast.
Connor.
Just dude,
Yeah,
are you sure about that? Because you also didn't know that UConn is kind of known for their excellence at basketball.
I know that
both
they're
men's and
excellent at
women's.
basketball. I forgot that they'd won 2 out of the last 3, but not last year.
All right, boys. We got 3 more bullet points. We make it
Go
through.
for it.
Go.
Keep it coming.
Okay. 4. Do not buy into teams that had high preseason expectations but have disappointed to this point of the season. If they've maybe turned around the very end, take a look. But if they've been struggling, don't count on them figuring out in the tournament. I'm sorry, Tom and Kentucky. That's
It's all about
probably
who's
you.
hot and when.
Tom is kind of a realist if you got to know him. I don't think he
Yeah,
had
he
any
definitely knows
unrealistic
what's up.
expectations for that team.
Yeah, he probably knows what up. Shout out to Tom. If you're a Kentucky fan, go watch him. If you're not, go watch him as well. He'll probably keep it real with you.
So you're saying you shouldn't have Kentucky in your Sweet 16?
Connor,
did
do you have
you-
Kentucky in your Sweet 16?
You shouldn't have
really?
Kentucky beating Iowa State in the round of 32?
Connor, even when
Connor,
Kentucky,
keep that thought. We're gonna go over that in a second,
even when
Connor.
Kentucky
It's
was
later.
a 2 seed, they were choking to 15 seeds, dude. Come on, why are you picking them for that?
Connor, we're gonna talk about that in a second.
Sweet 16.
Keep that thought. All right, 5. Look at tournament performances. Results emulate NCAA tournament expectations. So because you play back to back, more intense defense, neutral sites, etc. So if your team played well in the tournament, in your conference tournament, likely that's gonna turn around the NCAA tournament. And then exciting guard play can cause chaos in either direction. Specific to this tournament, here's my advice. The bubble last year this year is particularly weak. A 17 and 16 team almost made the field. Don't count on them doing well. Normally-
damn Eagle, baby.
Or Connor, your team, Miami, Ohio, they're in the final. They're in the first 4, by the way.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
squeaked out
one
that
time has
last
the
seed
first
from
4.
Auburn. They dug it out of Auburn's dying cold dead.
Yeah, it only took 1 loss to get there.
Yeah.
Play in, by the way, the first 4 in, they are 9-9 or 500 since the new format. But don't pick them this year. 2, believe in the freshman phenoms. Their talent may surpass experience this time around. Again, you got the NBA tanking, just hoping for these guys. Watch them. Watch out for injured players. The following teams have injured players: BYU, Gonzaga, Duke, Texas Tech, Vanderbilt, North Carolina, Louisville, and others. So beware of those teams. Guys, I asked you to come up with a dark horse team for this tournament. I want to hear who you got. Did you remember your assignment, Connor?
I got St. John's in the Sweet 16.
Okay. And why did you pick St. John's in the Sweet 16?
Have
you
great
asking-
leadership and
Are you
buy.
asking for my facts and logic?
Yeah.
We're fresh out of
Well,
that here.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It
By the
says
way,
on my
Connor, I don't
app-
think they're a dark horse team. I think they're projected to get to the Sweet 16. But
my 2 lowest seeds that I have in the Sweet 16 are Vandy and St. John. And I don't know. They have a chance thanks to senior forwards Bryce Hopkins and Zubi Ejiofor. The latter
Do you
is the
know who
team's
their head
leading
coach
scorer.
is?
Big E, a traditional Rick Pitino-led team.
Do you know how Rick Pitino ended up there?
He was hired from a school where he performed less at.
I mean, technically true. He was the head coach at Louisville, and he got fired
Oh.
for a scandal, recruiting scandals, where they would hire strippers for their basketball recruits.
So you mean he was caught doing that?
He personally didn't take any blame, or he did not acknowledge it, but he was let go. But
Yeah.
he's doing well at St. John's.
Took a
so
page
that's
out of
not
Coach
that
Marty
big.
Daniels' book.
Yeah, I mean, I have St. John's beating Kansas in the round of 32. I don't know. Okay. It depends on what you mean. So I have South Florida beating Louisville in the opener. That's probably I think that's my biggest upset that I have. I have Troy beating Nebraska. And then
You know, that would be heartbreaking
what? Troy beating
for the
Nebraska?
Cornhuskers if they lost that game.
Yeah, you want to talk about tournament history. Nebraska has an abysmal tournament history.
They sure do.
And Troy is pretty hot right now. To see your facts and logic and my vibes-based method is typically, have I heard of this team in basketball?
What conference?
They're not mad. I don't know.
At least you've heard of them.
Well, I've heard of the team. I don't know. There's so many more teams in college basketball, man. Like
I know it's
that's
awesome,
why
right?
I agree.
Awesome.
If you dedicate the time to this sport, it can be super exciting and super fun to watch. But it's just felt cumbersome to me. That's why it's so hard. Like it is hard enough to get 132 teams, 133 or 4, whatever it is now in FBS to follow throughout when they play one day a week. For 3 months. Like, you're talking was it 35 games in a college basketball season, all playing on all different days of the week and there's gotta be close to 300 teams possible.
It's
that
like
are vying
330 teams. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so many. And like
It is.
the amount of talent that is genuinely out there. I mean, you think of I think of, was it John Morant went to Wichita State? I mean,
Close.
there are players who go to schools that are not known as basketball school. Like, was it Kemba Walker went to Washington, who, Washington was not a basketball school.
He
What?
went to UConn.
No, he did. Cardiac Kemba? I could have sworn he played for Washington.
UConn.
Who am I thinking of?
Kemba Walker famously had one of the best tournaments ever for
What?
UConn.
Was I thinking that they played against Washington one time in one of those tournament games?
It's probably not.
I don't know. I thought that there was some like big name player in the NBA.
You're probably thinking of man, I can't remember his name. He was the number 1 pick, Markelle Fultz. You're probably thinking Markelle Fultz if you're thinking Washington.
Maybe
That was
because it was like you'll get some of these players that are coming out of teams that are just not known as basketball
10
schools.
years.
What's that?
That was one of the biggest bust picks in the last 10 years, Markelle Fultz.
He forgot how to shoot.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
Who am I thinking of?
Well, you're thinking of that. We'll go on the
Okay.
chase on his dark horse team.
Well, you named him in your injury report, unfortunately.
Okay.
Anchors
Well,
down,
tell you how bad
baby.
Vandy, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What would be an appropriate dark horse expectation for Vandy, in your opinion?
I think Vandy can get to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8.
Sick. I have them in the Final Four.
I mean, so
I have them beating.
what they would have to do to get there is they got to their tournament championship game by beating Florida. And they'll have to do that again.
They have to beat Florida, and then they'll probably have to beat Houston or Illinois if Illinois beats Houston.
Yep.
That's hard. Illinois is one of the most highly touted 3 seeds that they've had in a long time. People are labeling them as being one of the easy 3 seeds to make it all, or to make it deep. That's a long road ahead of them.
But yeah, anyway, Go Vandy. Anchors down. Let's go.
Okay. I like it. All right. I'm going to throw at you guys a couple of them. Couple of dark horse teams. Now, I don't know if I'm going to pick them I think one has an easier path and one has a harder path. The first team I'm going to shout out is Santa Clara, actually, Connor. That's one of my dark horse teams. I think it's going to be an easy first round win over Kentucky.
You think Kentucky's that bad?
I think that, and I think Santa Clara's that good.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even read the preview on that game.
Santa Clara is a sneaky good team. They
They've
rebound
lost
really well.
8 games.
What?
They've lost 8 games this year. Sorry,
And
go ahead.
Kentucky's lost more.
Yeah, against SEC teams.
Your
Connor.
SEC bias is showing, Connor.
SEC bias. Wow. Please clip that for later because we're going to use that next season. Yeah, against SC teams.
Yeah,
we're,
and do you
we
know
are
who
100% using that against you next season. We need to
Santa
clip
Clara's
that.
losses have been against, like, most notable losses have been like going 50-50 against St. Mary's and losing
Their tournament team.
and losing soundly multiple times to Gonzaga.
Well, Gonzaga is a 3 seed. They're very good.
Chance. Actually, though, when you edit, please save that 5-second clip of him saying, "Yeah, against SEC teams." And we're
Just
gonna
boomerang
use
that.
We'll use
Yeah.
that. Connor, Santa Clara is very good at rebounding the ball, and they are actually very prolific offensively and defensively. They average the third most. They are third in the country at field goal attempts over their opponents. So they attempt the third most field goal attempts more than their opponents do.
Herb Sendek is their coach. Ugh.
My second dark horse team for you, Connor, is VCU, the Atlantic 10 team. I think that they actually have an easier path, but they will have to go against your Fighting Illini in the second round to get there. But I think that they also can go pretty far.
VCU over North Carolina. So you have 2 of the most prolific all-time basketball schools
Hey, Connor,
losing in the first round. One of
Who's-
which has an
who's
ESPN
North
100.
Carolina's best player?
I can't name a single player on. I can name
Caleb
Caravan.
Wilson is his name.
Michael Jordan. Okay.
And Caleb Wilson is out for the rest of the season.
Oh, is he?
Yes. He is projected to be the number 4 draft pick, and he will not be playing in this tournament.
They're getting back another good guy.
another good guy. Who's the good guy?
I'm telling you.
All right. Well, since we know so much about college basketball, clearly, I asked for our final 4 picks for you guys.
My
Chase, why don't you start us
brother.
out on that one.
My brother follows basketball like religiously. I swear he's gonna come up here and like tase me for how I'm embarrassing the bloodline right now.
Chase, final
Yeah.
4 picks.
Yeah, you're gonna love them. Arizona, UConn, Iowa State, and Vanderbilt.
You know, there's a lot of people who have that final 4, actually.
Really?
Well, not that exact final 4, but those teams. You're actually not that far off.
Well, I mean, to be fair, UConn and Iowa State are a 2 seed. Arizona's a 1 seed. Vanderbilt's the 5 seed, so that's the only like dark horse team in there. But Iowa State has to go through Michigan, so we will see. Oh, and UConn has to
Connor?
go through Duke.
Yeah. Which Duke has. They're a little banged up, but I don't think.
Duke was struggling for a while against Virginia when I was watching them. I don't know if they pulled away towards the end, but they were struggling for a bit.
They won their conference championship, but they also struggled against Florida State. Connor, final 4 picks.
I'm second guessing myself so much, and I hate you for it. Final 4:
His vibes, no.
UConn versus Houston, Arizona versus Michigan. UConn beating Arizona in the championship.
Hey, Connor.
Yeah.
I thought you were an Arizona State fan.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I don't I mean, I'm saying that Arizona's gonna choke, but it's gonna be under the brightest of lights.
You told something in the group message. Do you remember this conversation, Chase? How there's no way Arizona would win a championship?
I'm not saying they will.
No.
I'm
I
actually
agree with you. You're
specifically
definitely
saying
not
they
saying
won't.
that. In fact, you said something to the sorts of Arizona will definitely not win the national championship. And if they do, I will fly down to Arizona and let the basketball team pelt me with something. I am so confident in that. Do you remember something like that, Chase?
It sounds exactly like him. He likes being pelted with things, apparently. That's like his favorite thing, actually. That is always...
So if somehow
anytime he is being dramatic, that is the example he uses. It's like, if I lose, I'm getting pelted with X thing.
So Chase or Connor, if I'm getting this straight, if somehow this clip gets to the Arizona basketball team and they win the national championship, you're consenting to let them pelt you with something.
If that happens, I will wear.
ASU
I will be
fan.
decked out in Arizona State gear. That's how little I believe. In fact, I'm about to change one of my picks to have them get out in the Elite Eight now, just to try to push them a little bit more.
So you're backing out of if they win a national championship, you will let them pelt something with you.
No,
Tell you what
I'm
they-
saying that this, if someone sees this, and if they are that confident, then I will throw salt in their wounds, and I'm gonna even. I was giving them enough credit that they were only gonna choke under the brightest lights, but I'm willing to say that they won't even make it to the brightest light. That they'll choke in the Elite Eight to a Gonzaga team that is as mediocre as Gonzaga teams come compared to other years.
And if Arizona wins the national championship,
Then I'll consent.
Are you
so if
willing
the
to die on that
Arizona
hill?
basketball team sees this, you consent to go down there and have
I
them
have a
pelt you with
feeling
something.
you've got something in mind. So if you're coming, come proper.
Well, I'm just hoping this clip takes off. I'm going to post this everywhere so that they can see it and give them enough motivation to win that championship so they can pelt an Arizona State fan.
Go for it. Not
Okay.
that any of them actually care, because most of them are transfers anyway, with no real sense of loyalty, as is typical with North Nogales Tech.
Man, you are fueling them. You are fueling them.
That's how confident I am. And you know what? Fine. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this live. I'm gonna switch my bracket. Boom. Gonzaga winning in the Elite Eight.
Their best
then-
player is injured.
Then here, how about this? Arkansas winning in the Sweet 16.
That's not a bad pick.
Arkansas, hold on. Arkansas beating Gonzaga, and then we'll go. I'm still going to pick UConn. I'm doing this right here, right now. Now I got to pick Arkansas versus Michigan. Is Michigan healthy?
Yes, Michigan's healthy.
Are they actually?
Yes, they are. I haven't lied to you.
Are they? Please tell me
Oh,
the truth.
They got a guy named Yaxel Lindenborg.
Dude, that guy's really good, actually. Top
Okay.
15 NBA pick.
Okay, then Michigan over Arkansas in the Final Four. UConn over Michigan. Yeah, come at
Okay.
me, Wildcats.
All right. There it is. There it is, everybody. Just for clarification, Connor committed just like all the 7 hot takes that he committed to.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that like I believe in Arizona to win, or that I'm doing this purely. This is a spite pick that Arkansas is going to beat Arizona in the Sweet 16 now. Change the pick just to fuel your Wildcat fire in your horrible, horrible place that you call a school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me. What's the name of their stadium again? It's like their basketball arena. I forget what it's called.
I'm forgetting
It's
too.
not the
You won't forget when you have to go there and get pelted by stuff in that
The-
stadium.
no Thomas and Mack arena. That's the big
UNLV, buddy.
UNLV. What is the name of their? Now that's bugging me because it actually is like
You
a
can
very
look
famous.
that up while I give my final 4 picks. How about that?
Go for it.
We've generated a good clip. And to be frank, Connor, the sole reason why I wanted to make this episode is to farm you for that clip.
Oh my God. Of course it is.
Oh, the McHale Center.
McHale Center. That is
Yeah.
correct. Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. We'll see what happens. My final 4 picks, by the way, Connor, is I do believe in the Wildcats. I have them in the final 4. I have Duke, Houston, and Michigan. I am
Taking a lot of risks, man. Are you sure? Playing it
tell you
fast
what.
and loose, aren't you?
very confident in 2 of those teams, and that is Duke and Arizona. Very confident in them. Michigan had maybe one of the hottest runs, meaning that they were blowing out competition. However, there were many times that they squeaked by inferior competition as well. They've got size, length, and athleticism, so they can do it, but they are prone to losing as well. So I like Michigan, but if they got upset, it wouldn't surprise me. The team I'm not believing in is Florida in this case as a number 1 seed. Even though they won it last year, I think there's too many things working against them, and Houston is a hard team to beat. Really hard team. You have to be more talented, and you have to work harder than them. Two combinations that are rarely seen. And I do, Connor, believe that Arizona will win the national championship.
Okay.
They have
For the
3
first time
phenom
since
freshmen.
1997.
Yep, it would be the first time since 1997. They have the best defender in college basketball. 3 phenom freshmen. One of them, by the way, Connor, plays pretty much to a T like Devin Booker. In my opinion, that would be Braden Burries. I think they are the team to beat. Okay,
Go Razorbacks.
go Razorback. You know what? That it's not a bad pick because they really did well during the SEC tournament. They have Darius Acuff Jr. He's really a solid player, probably a top 5 NBA pick. So that's not a bad pick either.
That's why I picked him.
Of course, that's why you
I don't
picked
think
him.
Calipari can. I don't think
Calipari.
Yeah, Calipari. I don't think he's got it in him anymore, dude. I'll be honest.
You know, so
He couldn't make Kentucky work. He was the coach when they were losing as a 3 seed or a 2 seed to the 15 or 14 seed in the first round. So I just don't see it.
last year was the first time Kentucky had made the Sweet 16 since 2018.
Yeah.
Which is sad for Kentucky.
Yeah.
And why a lot of people started liking Coach Pope until this year. But we'll see. Okay, Connor, you're free. We are almost done with college basketball. We get to talk about a little bit different of a subject. You don't have to feel so out of your element. We're going to do a top 5 list for you guys. I've asked us to compile a top 5 postseason tournaments or just postseasons, what we think are the top 5 in sports. And Chase, why don't we start with you?
No. I
Your
want
top 5.
Connor to go first.
You want
Okay.
me to go first?
I want Connor
on
to
this?
go first because I want to see what Mr. Vibes drew up. I want to see.
Okay, I actually did take this one pretty seriously, honestly. I really did. I tried to give a thoughtful analysis. So, and although I did stick with the idea that we get one fun one. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is in descending order, meaning starting with what I think is the worst and ending with what I think is the best. So first, this is a college football podcast, so I have to say the college football playoff. That being said, I'm labeling it the worst because there are a lot of problems with it. We talk about that in the football episodes. Don't need to rehash them here, but it will always be. College football will always be near and dear to my heart, my absolute favorite sport, and I would not dream of leaving it off the list, flaws and all. Then this is probably going to surprise you guys because there's only one sport that one mainstream American sport that I can claim to know even less about than college basketball, and that would be hockey. That being said, I think that the Stanley Cup is one of the coolest traditions in sports. I love it. I love that it literally gets bigger and more important every single year. I love that they actually drink from it. It is there is nothing like hockey culture in my mind. It is not something that I grew up with. I'm from Arizona. We forget about hockey so much that we forgot that our team moved and most of the state was like, yeah, they were still around.
We don't have
that's how
ice
little
here, dude. We don't have.
Yeah.
There's no skating here.
Do you have any idea how much it was costing the Arizona taxpayer to keep that rink frozen year in and year out? It was just not something that was around in my psyche growing up. But I respect how the rest of the country and even other countries that we are neighbors with love it, and other countries around the world too. Really, this sport brings people together, and it's a really, really, really cool tradition, that playoff, that everybody dreams of that. Now, number 3, gotta play the obvious one a little bit. March Madness. As a guy who is fond of vibes, my favorite thing about sports is the volatility therein, and a 64-team single elimination tournament featuring teams from there's no ranking of power 4, group of 5, whatever. It's just basketball players in this. Every single second matters of every single game. There are teams where you will literally never remember a single player off of that team except one person who's going to go on to be an NBA Hall of Famer who for some reason decided to play at like University of Providence, that even the professors at that school forget that they go to University of Providence. That these teams that nobody mentions in any other sport all year long, and then they are thrust into the national stage, all eyes on them for 40 minutes. It's amazing. It is one of the coolest things that humans have come up with in the world of sports, and it is exciting every single second, every single year. I love it. Now, number two / number one, I'm going to make the fun one number one. Number one, again, not something that I necessarily follow, not something that I claim to be a particular fan of. In fact, I often talk a lot of smack about this sport, but it is one of the most pride-bringing sports out there, the World Series. It is in a world of icons. When talking about tournaments, in my opinion, everything is compared to the World Series. I'm sorry, Super Bowl. You can say that, and I'm a way, way, way bigger football fan. No, you will not hear me defending the excitement of baseball versus football, but nothing in the history of sports has become so iconic and so meaningful to the world of sports as the World Series. It is old. It is filled with elites, superstars, people who have changed the landscape of this country, people who made sports into what it is today, from a pastime into something that brings communities together on a world scale. I think that it is so special, and I genuinely don't think that there is anything else like it. And number one, because we're fun, you guys seen the movie Warrior with Tom Hardy and Nick Nolte? Circa 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. It is one of the most fun movies about one of the dumbest ideas that has ever been had in sports. It is not a true story by any means, but even the fact that someone thought of it as a hypothetical idea enough to make a movie about it. It's a movie about an MMA tournament. Full contact, same rules as the big leagues of MMA. But it's in like a bracket style tournament where Tom Hardy goes in as a basically unknown because he has a drug problem, and he goes in and just one shot hits everybody until he ends up fighting against his own brother. But the concept of a mixed martial arts tournament is nuts. Like the idea that you would be able to, like, UFC fighters go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months between fights, and these guys are making a movie about like a fight every single day. You're going to be in the hospital for a week after if you win a lot of UFC fights. It is the silliest thing in the world, but my God, is it a good movie? I could watch that movie every month and never get tired of it. It is so entertaining, and I think that it is my funnest tournament, the idea that I have. So there's my top 5 favorite tournaments.
This is why I wanted him to go first, because I knew he was going to cop out. You cop out.
I was giving it to you. I know exactly what you mean. I was giving it to you, my friend. That's why I didn't say that one in the group chat, because I knew that you were gonna. I wanted to give it to you. So go ahead if you want to change your list. I said my piece, and I hope that we get to hear your takes on what I think we're talking about. And if you're watching this at home and you haven't fast forwarded until the end of Chase's list, please comment and let us know, because I think a good chunk of our fan base knows exactly which tournament you're going to be talking about.
All right,
If you want me to hop in and hype up yours, go for it. I didn't want to steal your thunder.
All right, Connor. All right. Well, let's start it out. I feel like I have to explain myself, because apparently Connor's true number one, the World Series, has been completely left off my list because I don't think it's that special.
I agree with you, actually.
Yeah, the World Series, its name is iconic, sure. I enjoy watching it. Every few years, I get kind of into baseball and I'll start watching it. But outside of last year and maybe the year where the Diamondbacks were in it, I was not watching baseball like that. I don't really like how the format of it is, where Basically, it's like a 1-match grudge match, and it's a best of 3, then it's best of 5, then it's best of 7. I don't really like that like buildup of it. I want them to stay consistent a bit. I mean, it can be interesting. It can add some more, I guess flair to it. I just don't vibe with it. It's kind of boring to me. It's more entertaining than regular season, but I don't know.
For me, it's the pay to win.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that there is no salary cap in the MLB right now. So it is truly who's got the biggest pockets, and that's who's really been winning the last few years. I mean, geez.
All right, why don't you get to your own list
Dodgers.
instead of talking crap about mine?
I was just I feel like I was being, un-American, leaving them off it without an explanation. So there's my explanation.
So it's less un-American of you to go on a tangent about how much you hate
To
baseball.
completely ignore it. Yes. But anyway, starting out at number 5. This is a college football podcast at the end of the day. And while it is not the most entertaining playoff, it's new, it's fledgling. There's some things that are going to change about it. Some of it I'm not going to like what they're going to change about it. I don't want them to March Madness my football playoff, but I don't want to see that. But the college football playoff is my number 5. I love the sport. I love that there is enough of a playoff to get kind of pumped and into it, but there's not so much of a playoff that the regular season is diminished, because those regular season games that you see, like a Georgia, Alabama, or an Ohio State, Michigan, don't really mean anything if those teams can lose 3 games a year and still make it. So I don't want to see them do that where they expand too far, but that's, I've talked about this before on different episodes. So number 4 might be a little controversial for being on here, but I love the NBA playoffs. I love it. I like that they added the play-in. It does make that a little interesting because, honestly, the 7 and 8 seeds, most of the time, we're not competing. So having those like 7, 8, 9, 10s competing with each other to see if they get those last spot is pretty interesting. I mean, I can't think of an 8 seed that's made it far other than the Miami Heat in recent years. And I've watched the playoffs every year, and it's always super entertaining. The 2020 bubble playoffs were some of the best basketball I've ever watched in my life. Last year with the Pacers and how Tyrese Halliburton was going off and making these game-winning, like, clutch shots. Like, these weren't game-winning buzzer beaters that were like, we're tied. If I miss it, we go to overtime. We're down by 1. If I miss this, we lose. If I hit it, we win. Those are clutch shots. And that was happening. That happened all over through the bubble. And that happened last year with the Pacers. And unfortunately, the Thunder was a great team. They won it all. I'm not a big Thunder fan right now. Shai is a very talented guard, but he's really talented at getting fouls that he doesn't deserve. So, but I love the NBA playoffs. So they're on my list. Number 3, Stanley Cup. Dude, playoff hockey is different. Playoff hockey is so fun. The energy that those teams bring, the first line, second line, third line, they are playing like every game is the game. Like, they're playing like it's game 7 every game. It is so fun to watch. The violence of the sport is crazy. They're checking each other so hard into the stands. Like, it's so fun to watch. And you see some amazing play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's so fun to watch. Number 2, this is not my personal favorite, but you got to go by views, man. And the world loves this sport, the World Cup. It has the most views. Nothing competes with it outside of like the Olympics. It is the most viewed sport in the planet for a reason. It pulls people. People love it. I don't love it. I don't watch soccer like that. I've watched it in maybe maybe a couple times. Maybe I've watched our women's team because our women's team was pretty good, but I've not watched it myself. But it is definitely the most viewed sport for a reason. So that's why they're up here. And Connor, the number 1 tournament of all time, the Tournament of Power from Dragon Ball Super, baby. Like, what is more on the line? Just a team winning a championship for their country or their state? Like, who cares about that? What about, how many was it? 12 universes fighting for
universes on the line?
Existence? All because
the very fabric of reality?
All because one space monkey couldn't keep his mouth shut, so he kept begging the god of the universe to have this tournament and put everybody at risk? Like, what's more on the line? You want to talk about leadership, Connor? You want to talk about Gohan's leadership to put his own body on the line and work with his arch enemy, Frieza, to beat out other universes, sacrificing his literal own body to beat them. Like, how can you beat that? What has better vibes than Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku? Just honestly, guys, like, leave it in the comments.
Nothing.
Who has better vibes? When you hear that music, does it not feel like you can just slam your head through about 10 feet of stainless steel and just come out completely unfazed? Like, there's no way you hear that theme. People were watching this all over the planet at bars, restaurants, as these episodes aired. Like, that's how hyped this tournament was. I don't care that it was fictional. It's the best. And I will die on that hill.
Man.
So just to confirm, that is your real number one, and you don't have March Madness in your top 5.
I don't have March Madness, and that is my race, baby. Man.
Chase.
The number one basketball fan on this podcast.
I grew up
Now,
playing
Here's
basketball
a
my whole
disclaimer,
life.
though. The only reason the Chance can't relate to this is because he's never seen an episode of any Dragon Ball show, because he apparently was never 11 years old.
And Connor still is 11 years old, so that's why he's
DJ,
so hyped.
My first sleepover I ever had at a friend's house in my whole life was to watch the world premiere of Dragon Ball GT, which sucked, but me and Dragon Ball
That's
go
crazy,
way
Connor.
back.
I didn't know you were allowed to have sleepovers in your household.
It was rare. I did all my chores for the month.
I thought you
With
were
my
going to
bare
say it was
hands.
when the premiere of Dragon Ball Super happened because you were an adult and they finally let you have someone over.
Once I was already in the military for several years and Dragon Ball Super came out.
My sergeant said I could have a sleepover, guy.
Boy, I've got to say to this segment.
And Chance.
There is nothing. They fought a tournament, a pre-tournament, a qualifier tournament on a world-sized Dragon Ball.
Chance.
That was just the qualifier.
Chance. I'm not the biggest March Madness guy, man. I've told you that. They have great marketing, and certain years there is an intensity that is not matched by other sports. It's win or go home every game. I get it, but I don't think it fields the best team to win it all, and I don't like that about a sport. I want to see the actual best team win it, and I don't like that for basketball. I think it needs to have at least some sort of best of 3 series, at least in the bigger games. So maybe the Final Four or just the championship.
So last year, do you think the best team won?
Last year I would not be the best judge of character on, but the year before that, no.
Year before that was tough because that was the year of 4, 5, 5, and 7, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Or something
So-
something like that.
Do I think Florida was the best team of all last year? Probably not, but I'm not as much of a fanatic.
I do think that they were the best. I think the best team wins a good portion of the time. I've got some trivia that might change your mind. We'll see. But I get what you're saying, but I think that's part of the excitement for me is that it could go your way or it could not go your way. And instead of like sometimes like the NFL, for example, which is not in my top 5, by the way, most of the time it's like, yeah, I already know who's going to win the Super Bowl. Why am I even going to watch it? Before the playoffs even start, I knew everybody knew that Seattle was going to win. Everybody knew it was going to be Seattle and New England.
This year was pretty obvious, but I don't really like the way that the NFL is seeded right now either. I don't really care for it that much, but yeah. That's why they didn't make the list either.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Nobody had the NFL on their list. By the way, I think,
Why would we? The NFL.
well, I think if it was the single biggest sporting event, I don't think any of us can argue it's the Super Bowl. I mean, it clearly is the Super Bowl. The single
I mean,
best event.
statistically speaking, if it's the single biggest sporting event, yes.
Well, I mean,
That being said,
if you want to
the
say
NFL
biggest as in
playoffs
viewership
is-
or production or whatever, I mean,
Yeah.
you have a
No, that's what
concert
I'm
at halftime. Everybody's throwing everything you could get at commercials where they're entertaining. I mean, it's the best spectacle in sports.
Well, as far as pro
but
sports,
it's one event though. The NFL
it is one event, and that's why it did
does
not make my top 5.
have the same. It does not feel as nearly as engrossing.
Yeah.
As anything else we've
in
mentioned.
pro
As a
sports,
postseason
it is
as a
the only
whole,
one that
no,
is in a
it's not.
series. So it's obviously you get Super Bowl Sunday. You don't get NBA Finals Tuesday. Like you get it
Yeah.
the entire week.
Right. Yeah. The rest of the postseason for the NFL is subpar, and that's why it does not make my list. But the Super Bowl, as in one event, would be number 1 for me. All right. Top 5 for me. Number 5 is the NBA playoffs. And I agree much to what Chase has said. I like that it's a superstar league and you have superstar moments where you had Halliburton last year. There's so many moments where you think about even like a couple years ago, Trae Young trolling the New York Knicks. You guys remember that? That was funny to me. You don't get those moments in other sports. And also, their marketing has gone downhill, unfortunately. But back in the day, the marketing for NBA Finals was amazing. Do you guys remember the David Blaine series, the commercials? Okay, so they used to have these commercials for the NBA playoffs with David Blaine. And his whole thing was like, oh, you guys think that Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash are so good? Well, guess what? It's magic. And then it will show, for example, it will show like Steve Nash is like, how does he make these behind the back passes? Mirrors. And it shows like one guy in the crowd like switching a mirror, showing Amari Stoudemire. He's like looking at it.
I actually do remember that. Now that you mention that,
I feel like I remember those commercials.
Or they've got like LeBron James seems like he can make impossible dunks, but are they really? Watch closely, and they have like one teammate like stomp on the ground, and it like flips up a ramp on the ground, and he flies off of it. Or the Rip Hamilton with the mask, where like it's actually like tubes giving him extra energy. I mean, brilliant marketing. So, I mean, I think the NBA has a lot going for it. It's competitive. I mean, 8 seeds don't really win, but sometimes they do. Usually, it's going to be your 1 seeds or 2 seeds, but I mean, there's still a chance for everybody. But it's 7 games. You have to win in 7 games, so it's still fair. I really enjoy the postseason. The midseason tournament, I think, is still a joke. I think they still need to figure that one out. But postseason, yes. Number 4, I've got the CFP. Yes, it's not perfect, but I think there's a lot going for it still. I still love the opening rounds, watching home games, people go wild for those home games. There's still competitiveness, yes, there is some. No, I mean they've got to figure it out, but there's still some really strong moments. And the national championship is still a great spectacle as well to go with everything else. So I think it's got a lot of good things going for it, but it does need improvement. Number 3, the Stanley Cup. I think we all had Stanley Cup as number 3. So one thing that you guys didn't mention is the playoff beard, where players start their no shave during the playoffs, and you just watch it grow on people until the championship game. I mean, everything about it is just awesome, and the fans are crazy. I mean, I wish I was more into hockey, but during the Stanley Cup, I get into hockey.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It is nuts. Number 2. I'm with you, Chase. Number 2 is the World Cup. And I had the experience of watching World Cup in a different country, and it is crazy. I was out in the streets and I was like, where is everybody? It was a ghost town. And then you just like see everybody in their houses, and that's all they're doing. I mean, they shut down work, schools, whatever, because it's World Cup time. And I hope that Americans show up for the games coming up for this World Cup and they take it seriously, because it's so awesome and fans are freaking crazy for it.
The chants are freaking amazing.
The chants are crazy. This wasn't World Cup, but US and Mexico have had some crazy games over the last couple of years. Have you seen any of the results of what happened in those?
Is that where like they started throwing garbage at the players or something like that?
Yes, that is the craziest scene I think I've ever seen in any sport. Is
they weren't even protesting like the nature of the loss. They were just that mad that they lost.
No,
like
Mexico hates us. They hate us.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's how I'm agreeing with you. That's how competitive it is. Like,
yes.
I wanted to throw garbage at certain like playoff plays because I was protesting the nature of the loss. But that one, like, it was a clean loss. They were just mad about it.
Pulisic hit this
If you want that, you can watch college football. At least 3 teams in Texas do that like every other week, just throwing trash on the field.
No, you don't understand, Chase. Christian Pulisic, Captain America. It's a last-minute goal. It's a beautiful goal. He hits it. He goes to the corner, and they all go to the corner to celebrate, and in football, right? He goes to the corner and he starts shushing the crowd, and you can see on the camera just all this garbage just going over him and all the players, and they're just sitting there with their shirts off, just like shushing them while they're getting thrown garbage on them. It's the freaking most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's crazy. And the world, I mean, sorry, going back to Stanley Cup, one thing we forgot, sudden death is pretty awesome too. They have like
3-on-3
overtime, and the stakes at that moment are crazy. World Cup is an interesting format where you have an opening stage where you still can lose and make it through, and then you have sudden death. And then on top of that, it can get to the highest stakes where it's like, okay, it's a shootout. Like you either make more shootouts or you don't and you lose. And that can get really intense as well. So I don't know. I like everything about the World Cup. The only one I have above it is for me March Madness, because it is pure insanity. There's no other sport that has brackets that everybody fills out, money's on the line, stakes for your group or whatever, and you follow that closely every single result across 68 games. It's a spectacle that every single day you're glued to the TV on those days, and you're watching like 4 or 5 games at a time. You're crying, you're cheering, you're mad, you're sad, you're glad, all at the same time. It's awesome. And there's so many great moments. I mean, I think about Villanova over UNC, where UNC hits the crazy dagger, and then all of a sudden Villanova in the next seconds wins it, right? Half court heaves. We've seen coaches fall out of their freaking wheelchairs because they're celebrating a 3-point buzzer beater by their son. I mean, you don't get that in any other sports. For me, it's number one for those reasons. That's my top 5 list. So I did not have Dragon Ball Z on there. Sorry, guys.
Man, that is criminal.
I know.
That you would shun
Shame on me.
Crazy.
All right. It's time for what you guys really were waiting for. Are you ready?
If you thought that we didn't know things before this segment, you're really gonna think we don't know anything during this segment.
It's trivia time. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys think or how you guys do. I'll say this. I could be wrong. If I took this quiz, I think I would know 80% of the questions, but in reality, I'd probably get like 60 to 65 right because I'm on camera and I just, brain
He thinks that he would barely pass this, and he's giving it to us.
I think the app. Well, think of our quizzes in the past. We barely have hit 500 or less on our quizzes.
Hey, I did really good on the one you gave.
You did really good on yours, but the rest of us, we didn't even hit 500 on ours, right? So,
in our defenses, we have been making the weirdest, hardest quizzes. We need to refine our quiz making process a little bit.
I think the average fan would get about 50% on this quiz.
The average fan?
We're cooked,
yes.
Chat. Let us know how cooked we are in the chat.
But Connor, guys,
how far below average are we?
Such a forgiving format. The trivia is going to change format.
Is there a loser bracket?
Well, no. So here's what's going to happen. For the first couple of questions, it's going to be a 3-part question. The first part is going to be worth 3 points. The second part 2. The last part 1 for the first couple of questions, okay? And the questions will get a little bit easier each one. So that way, when you fall on your face and you don't get the first one right, if you don't, you still have 2 more chances at points. Fair? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Connor. Oh, boy, buddy. Okay.
Get it
How
over with.
How many times has a 16 seed beaten a 1 seed?
Twice.
That is correct. Good job, Connor. That is 3 points for you.
That was not a guess. I actually did know that one.
Good job.
Think one of
them.
See,
that's where I don't know if you guys
Loyola Chicago over Virginia, because I think that was literally the first year that that was the second year that I played.
You're getting ahead of yourself, Connor, and you might be answering the question already.
Okay.
So the second part for 2 points. When was the first time that happened?
I believe it was, I remember where I was. I was in New Mexico doing deployment prep training for my first deployment, which would have been March of 2018.
Connor, you have 5 points. Dang. All right. And final Can you not name
I
either?
remember the game I was playing. I was playing Clank.
Oh, nice. That's a great game.
Fun board game. Anybody played it?
Can you name either team, Connor?
That was involved?
Can you name either of the 16 seeds?
I'm pretty sure that there was Loyola Chicago who beat Virginia in the opening round. Because I'm pretty sure that was the one where they had the nun that followed, the like 90-something-year-old nun that followed them around because they made it to like the Elite Eight, I think. They rode that wave. It was either UMBC or Loyola Chicago. If you force me to answer, I'm going to say Loyola Chicago.
Wichita
Final answer.
State.
Definitely not them.
Loyola Chicago is not correct. Connor, it was UMBC.
God dang it. Are you serious?
UMBC, Fairleigh
FD?
University. So UMBC beat Virginia in 2018. FDU beat Purdue in 2023.
God.
That was pretty close, though. See, you're not doing that bad. That was
I
pretty
had
good.
the team they beat, but
I
I'll show you
actually
bad.
So UMBC beat Virginia out in North Carolina in Charlotte, and I actually was in North Carolina at a conference, and I played hooky to watch UMBC get beat by Kansas State in the second round.
yeah. Okay, because Loyola Chicago, I think, was the one that did make a deep run, but I think they were like a 14 seed. Maybe they were not 16.
All right, Chase.
Man, I was so close.
That's going to be a hard one to follow up, Chase. And if you get beat by Connor, that's pretty embarrassing.
I don't care.
The only time he'll have ever lost to me at basketball.
All right, Chase. How many times has a double-digit seed reached the Final Four?
3 times.
That your final answer?
No. Yeah.
That is incorrect. 7 times. How many times? This is worth 2 points. How many times was it the 11th?
3 times.
Final answer?
Final answer.
The 11 seed did it 6 of the 7 times.
You take that back right now, young man. I saw that. The world saw that.
Chase, for 1 point, can you name one of the 7 teams?
Wichita State.
No, quit guessing Wichita State.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, sure.
No, it was not Wichita State. I've got NC State 2 years ago, UCLA recently, Loyola Chicago, Connor, Syracuse was the only 10 seed, VCU, George Mason, and
That was the Loyola Chicago with the nun.
Yes.
It was Sister Jean or
With
something
the
like
nun.
that.
Sister Jean. She actually just recently passed away.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
she
right,
was like the
That's
most
what
hype
you
one in the
remember.
stadium.
That's what he remembers.
Everybody remembers
He
Sister
couldn't- He
Jean.
couldn't name the last 3 champions, but he remembers the nun of Loyola
Remembers-
Chicago from 10
Sister
years
Jean
ago or
is
whatever.
an icon.
She did become an icon, but yes.
Oh my god.
All right, Connor. What is the highest combined seeds, meaning if you add the seeds together, to have made
Yeah.
the championship game? So if you need an example, if a
the 7
14
seed played a
seed and
2
a
seed,
16
that'd be
seed
9.
made it, the answer would be 30.
I'm just gonna throw out the number 9, I guess.
Final answer?
Yeah, I got no clue. That is a complete guess.
The answer is 15. A 7 seed and an 8 seed met in the championship game.
Wow. When was
By the
that?
way, sorry, this question is a 2-parter. And your next
Okay.
question, Chase, will be a 2-parter. So for 2 points, what were the 2 teams?
I don't know.
What year was
So
it?
you want just without any time context? You just want me to name 2
I'll give you the
colleges?
year. You want the year? I gave you
Sure.
the seed. All right,
Not
the
that
year is
it'll help.
2014.
2014. This is so purely just throwing names out there.
You've thrown a lot of names out today.
Iowa versus Auburn. I don't know.
O'Connor.
Iowa versus
UConn,
Auburn.
the 7th seed, who won the championship, played the 8th seed Kentucky. The 2 teams you have clamored about all day today.
That's pretty funny because
There's
I actually
no way I would have known that.
That's actually funny. I actually would have guessed them.
You would have guessed that one?
Just because you said 2014, I was like, UConn and Kentucky were actually one of those teams. Definitely won that year. So
I
know
don't
if I would've
follow
guessed both,
college
but I would've
basketball
guessed
in
one.
general, but I especially did not follow it in 2014.
All right. Well, Chase, Your questions. Two-parter. First one's 3 points. Second one's 2 points. Time to catch up.
Multiple opportunities.
What percentage
to
of
lose.
championships are won by 1 seeds? I'll accept any answer within 5% of the correct answer.
That's crazy. What percentage of 1 seeds win?
What percentage of championships are won by 1 seeds? If you get it within 5%, I will give it to you.
That's crazy. 59%.
The answer is 75%
Damn.
of the time.
That's
Wow.
A 1 seed wins the championship.
Whoa.
Well, there's 4 of them.
When is the last time no number 1 seed teams have made... Sorry, let me rephrase this. When's the last time there weren't any 1 seed teams in the Final Four?
2023.
That is correct. We talked about it all day. 2023, 4 seed UConn, 5 seed San Diego State, 5 seed Miami, and 9 seed FAU made it.
It was 9. I kept saying 4, 5, 5, 7. 4, 5, 5,
Yep.
9. Yeah, San Diego State, man. Go Aztecs.
They made the championship game and lost to UConn. By the way, no number 1 seed even made the Elite 8 that year. All eliminated before the Elite 8. It was mayhem. Crazy
The
year.
Definition of madness.
Yes. Okay, now for the next questions. Both of you can answer. You can only get 1 guess, though. We're 2 points each. And it's not whoever answers first, whoever answers correctly. You can both get it right if you have the same answer. How many times has the Final Four consisted of only 1 seed teams?
All time?
All time.
How many
Well,
tournaments
since,
have there
the
been?
tournament started like 1972, I believe, or
I was going to
78.
say it's a little over 50 years old, I thought.
4 times.
No, 15.
The answer is 2 times.
Wait, what? That's it?
I was closer.
That's it. And
You were
can you name which years for the second part? This is worth 1 point.
2001. In other words, no.
Chase,
Are you
I'm
kidding
going to give you
me?
1 point because you were so close.
What? No.
It was last year, 2025 and 2008.
Dude, no way.
That is crazy. Yes, last year, all 4 1 seeds made it, and 2008. Those are the only times that all 4 1 seeds have made it.
Was that
So-
okay? Because maybe now I'm remembering that because we went from like in consecutive years, it was like the most upsets that there had ever been, followed immediately by the least amount of upsets there had ever been. Like
Pretty close because you got
It went right
2023
back
where
to-
none of them made it, and then 2025 where all of them made it.
yeah,
All right, this is for you both. You can answer this one. It's worth 3 points. When is the last time a 3 seed has made the Final Four? I just need the
2024.
year.
2024. Because we just established that in 2023, no, none of them made it. We established it in 2025, only the ones made it. I'll go 2024.
2022.
Chase? The last time a 3 seed has made the Final Four was 2018. They do not make the Final Four.
Huh. Sorry,
All right.
Lina.
This one's for 1 point. Who has a better winning percentage against each other? The 9 seed or the 8 seed?
The 9 seed.
I will also say the 9 seed.
You
Top
both
out.
get a point.
No, that makes sense.
Does it?
That's such
The
a
8 seed's supposed to be better.
not. I mean, just because they have to put one over the other, they have to label them. Those seed, they're designed to be 50-50.
Are you
so
saying that you trust
It is
committee?
52 to 48, by the way. So it is very close to 50-50. But the 9 seed does have the advantage. How
Okay,
many
they could tie it up this year.
So you're
Like,
saying
that's how close it
you're
is.
saying Ohio State?
No, they
is gonna
cannot tie it
lose.
up this year.
So you're saying Ohio State's going to lose the first game tight. Love it.
I do have them
I
losing the
picked
first
Ohio
game.
State winning in the first round.
I have them losing.
Though it tore my soul asunder, I picked Ohio State in the first round.
All right. Next question. This
I
one's
think.
worth 2. How many championships has a 5 seed won?
Yes, I have them beating TCU.
1.
A 5 seed? A 2.
Don't you prices right me?
You're
The
also
5 seed?
guessing.
Has never won a national championship.
I still still closer. You prices righted me, and I'm still closer than you. How does that feel, Connor?
It doesn't feel
Feels-
bad because you don't get a point. You had to get it right.
Boo! Who made these questions?
All right. When is the last time the Big Ten won the national championship? 2 points.
He didn't specify what sport. 2026.
Shut up.
2026, baby. Oh,
3-peat for Big Ten.
2020.
So who's good? We got Michigan,
Here, I'll give you
State.
2 points for the answer, 1 point for the team.
So there's Michigan State are usually both pretty dang good. Rutgers is usually decent. Iowa once in a while fields a good squad. Maryland is Maryland just the same, where they'll always be good but rarely great. Wisconsin's actually usually a highly competitive basketball team, but championship material? I don't know. I feel like it's been a while in college basketball for the Big Ten. I'm gonna say 2010, though. I would guess Michigan State. Both. I cannot overstate how much I'm guessing at everything since the first question.
2016 Michigan.
No, it's not Michigan.
The answer is Michigan State in the year 2000.
Wow.
So I got a point?
You got 1 point.
Let's go. Go Sparty.
All right. Only one Power 5 conference team has never won a playoff game in the tournament. Which team is that?
Like ever?
Ever. One Power 5 conference team has never won an NCAA tournament game.
So Power 5 really only exists in football. So you're saying that this is a current...
No, Power 5 includes the Big East.
Oh. Are the power conferences different in basketball, or are they the same as football? Plus
it's Power 4 basically now in football, Power 5 in basketball. It just
never won a single game.
Big 12, Big 10, ACC, and Big East. One team has never won a tournament game. Which one is it?
Even Arizona State has won at least a game that I know of. I don't think while I've watched them. I'm sure in the James Harden years they won one or two. And then the 70s ASU was pretty good, but no. I feel like Colorado would have been good at one point. Is Washington State considered a Power 5 school currently?
I'm sure that they had a Power 5, so yes, they would be included.
Is Northwestern? For some reason, I feel like it would be Stanford, but I don't know. They won the NIT 10 or so years ago.
NIT
so I feel
does
like
not count.
Well, but I'm saying like they have some form of pride in the program, at least at some point. Northwestern sometimes puts out a good squad in basketball. Baylor, Texas Tech, obviously powerhouse basketball schools. Oklahoma State. I can't imagine that they've never. Maybe Oklahoma State? If I had to guess, only because I know so little about it, and this will go on forever. I'll say Oklahoma State.
It's not Oklahoma State. Marcus Smart won there.
Marcus Smart played at Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
Can I try again?
I think he beat Kansas, and he did like a full-on, what's it called? Full-on tumble, gymnastics tumble after beating them.
Like a back handspring?
Yeah, like he went all out after winning that game.
Marcus Smart did a back handspring?
Yeah, it was fucking sick.
Good for him.
I think it was Kansas. Do you know if I'm right on that, Chance?
I can't remember that one. To be honest.
I feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Florida State.
This is the one that you guys are trying the hardest at.
Which is like, it has the lowest probability, quite honestly. So,
I'll give you 3 points if you get this one. Chase, you need to catch up.
Or what?
Connor, I'm counting your I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint, Chase. Connor, you're already out. You guessed Oklahoma State.
Oh.
You actually mentioned this team before, Connor. I'm disappointed that you did not guess this.
In my list, they were one of the ones I mentioned?
During the episode, you made a comment about how poorly this team has played in the past.
But there was one shining moment at least? Or no, historically, they've never won a tournament game.
They've never won an NCAA tournament game. And
at some point
after your comment, I even said, ooh, if they did not win, that would be a shame.
Oh, come on. Come on. Don't do that to me. I hate you. Why did you have to tell me that now? After you've already taken my guess.
Bold of you to assume.
And Chase doesn't even remember.
Bold of you to assume I ever listened to Connor, that this would help me.
Your life would be so much better if you listened to me more, Chase.
I don't think it would.
Let me do your taxes,
I mean,
okay?
if you assume from context, Chase, it sounds like they might be playing in this tournament.
A Power 5 school playing in this conference.
Yes, a powerful Power 5 school.
Powerful?
At least
Probably depends on what sport you're talking about.
In a couple sports. Not recently, maybe. But you got 10 seconds.
Georgia?
No. Take it. Take it from him.
I have 10 seconds apparently.
I tried,
5.
Chase. I tried.
It's Nebraska.
Nebraska.
It's Nebraska. They have never won a tournament game. They are a 4 seed going against a 13 seed. So if they do not win this time, it may just never happen.
Worse of a curse than Texas Tech.
Which team has the most NCAA tournament appearances without making the Final Four?
Kentucky.
Kentucky has won the national championship.
Oh, without
Florida State.
I thought you meant like every year. Like they've had the most opportunity
yeah,
to make
they
it
have-
and then never made it.
I'll let you answer again, Chase, because you're behind. They have never made the Final Four, this team. But they have
Florida
the
State.
most NCAA tournament appearances.
Of a team that has never made it to the Final Four.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Again, purely a guess. I have literally no context, but go Knowles.
Ohio State.
Florida State?
Yeah.
Okay. Chase?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. The answer is the university. Well, it's not. It doesn't start that way. Brigham Young University.
Ooh, self
BYU.
burn. Self burn.
That's
You don't
weird.
get a lot of those.
It hurts. It hurts every year. And this was supposed to be the year.
It's always next
Which
year, buddy.
team?
How long is this quiz, man?
You're almost done. I said it was going to be long. It's a good quiz. Come on.
It is. Let's just ask the questions, man.
Team has the most tournament appearances without winning a game?
Probably Nebraska. I'd say Nebraska again.
That's not correct.
No.
Okay.
I'll give you one more answer. We're 3 points. It's also a team close to home.
Grand Canyon?
NAU. I don't know. Grand Canyon's
Boise State.
Boise. Close to your home. Damn.
Well, it could have been Arizona State. It could have been LSU. It could have been.
I know we've established that Arizona State has won games, just not recently.
Yes. Well, it obviously was not a Power 5 team. Okay, these questions are the ones I'm most proud of. Which of the following this is an A, B, C, or D question? You both get an answer. We're 3 points. Which of the following is a real name of somebody participating in this year's NCAA tournament? A. Boopy Miller. B. Chandler Bing. C. Federico. Or D. Pupa Warakulu Nokora. Do you need me to repeat any of those?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. A. Boopy Miller. B. Chandler Bing. C. Federico. And D. Pupa Warakunukura.
D.
I have to say D.
That
Even though I
is
wanna say
correct.
A.
Actually, all of them were correct. All of those are real names of people playing in this NCAA
There's
tournament.
actually a Chandler Bing. That's crazy.
No way. Who does
Yes.
he play for?
I can get you that, actually. Give me 1 second. Chandler
Syracuse.
Bing plays for Vanderbilt.
Hey,
Huh.
Vandy, baby.
Okay, last question.
Could you be any more ridiculous?
This one's worth 5
Did I
points.
anchor down
Chase,
anymore?
you are down by 5 points, so this could tie the game for you.
Type shit.
Which of the following players plays for Florida? A. Solo Ball. B. Boogie Fland. C. Victory Onuetu. Or D. Monty Bowser.
Only one of these is it?
They're all real names.
Which one plays on for
All
Florida?
of these are participating in the NCAA tournament. Only one
Oh
player
my
plays
God.
for the University of Florida. Do you want me to give you the options again?
Yeah.
A. Solo Ball. B. Boogie Fland. C. Victory Onuetu. Or D. Monty Bowser.
Whatever the second one.
Boogie Fland?
Boogie Fland.
Okay.
Big Boogie fan.
Chase?
I like
Can you read off
all the
C and
dribbles
D
he
again?
does.
C is Victory Onuetu. And D is Monty Bowser.
Why are you asking again as
Monty
if it's gonna?
Bowser.
The answer is B. Boogie Fland.
Yeah, I told you. He's having a great year. He's like averaging so many stats a game. He's got that like triple double, meaning like at least 2 times this year he's had stats in 3 categories.
The
He's had stats.
Pupa Warakunukra plays for UCF, Federico, Texas A&M, and Boopy Miller, SMU, by the way.
Sweet.
All right, Connor, you win 15-5.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, feels good.
How
By the
will
way,
I
here are
ever
some of the other
recover?
names that the all-tourney team names. You've got for Hawaii, Hunter Craver, Cougar Downing for UMBC, You've got Jimma James for Old Dominion. Ohio State, Puff Johnson. Kennesaw State, Dozie Oni Penn. Michelangelo Uberti. USF, Onyx, and that's it. Onyx
Nani?
Nani.
Nani?
Omaewa Shindeyu. Nani?
Who the heck names their kid? Federico. Sounds good
Do
to
we
me.
not? Are we forgetting the
Or
running
Poopa.
back from NC State, Hollywood Smothers?
He's a pretty good one too.
What
Yeah,
about wasn't there
you're gonna
wasn't
hate
there a
him
Fluff
next year.
Bothwell?
Connor, you remember what team he's on now, right?
No.
He's on Texas now
Texas.
with your buddy
Yeah.
Malik Brown in the backfield as well.
Okay, so they're each gonna average about 2.8 yards a carry, and
Sleeping
Arch
on
Manning's
that
gonna
team,
throw
dude.
for 500 yards a
Dude,
game
you
and
are
6
going to have a miserable 2026.
Next season is not going to be the season, my guy.
I'm so not excited to watch the SEC next year with
I am
everyone
so
that
excited to
Arizona
watch
State
a couple
painstakingly
of these
developed.
teams.
All right, everybody. If you got anything out of this episode, it's that not only do we know nothing, but I want to make sure that you know nothing too. This is the most unpredictable tournament in the history of sports. It is also one of the most exciting, some might argue the most exciting. The stakes are ridiculous. Every single possession matters. Every dribble, every pass, every point counts towards your legacy as a player, your history as a fandom. You are watching and making it and participating in it right now. I would like to say we'll be there every step of the way, but we're probably just going to have time to do a recap episode at the end of it. What we will be trying to do is keep it up on social media in bits and pieces. This information will be completely invalid in about 6 days, but this is a special time of year. It only comes around once a year. There is no tournament like it, whether it's your favorite or your least favorite. It is utterly unique in all of sports. It is so unique that a college football podcast is covering it in depth, in detail, and we are so excited to have you guys with us. Thank you all for joining us on the Concussion Protocol Podcast, College Hoops edition for Chance and Chase. My name is Connor. We will see you next time. You take care.